Merhaba arkadaşlar, hepiniz IEFT Talks webinarlarına hoş geldiniz. Bugün özellikle ebeveynlerin merakla beklediği İngiltere'nin en iyi lisesi Mill Hill School'da eğitimi Corina'dan dinliyor olacağız. Lütfen sorularınızı questions kısmından sormayı unutmayın. Yes, Corina, the stage is yours now.
Thank you very much, Zeynep. Good afternoon. I'm Corina Fries. I work for Mill Hill School, which is a beautiful boarding school in London. And so my role is I'm the international recruitment executive. So I joined Mill Hill School in 2016. And I have helped over 100 international pupils to join Mill Hill School. And I do try to keep in touch with as many as I can. And many of them are now studying at very prestigious UK universities. So Mill Hill School, I think it's a perfect location. It's northwest London, and so it's only 30 minutes from central London, and also only 30 minutes from Heathrow. But it's a very Mill Hill. It's a very safe and green part of London. So if you look at the picture, you can see it's very green. So one of our slogans is London in the countryside. And yes, so our Turkish success stories. So we've had quite many Turkish students over the last probably 5 to 6 years, I would say. And at the moment, we have 7 Turkish boarding pupils with us. And so here are some that have left Mill Hill School in the last 2 to 3 years. So Zeynep, she is now studying biomedical science at Queen Mary University. Then we have Aaron, he's studying artificial intelligence at University of Birmingham. Celine, she's doing fashion management at the University of Arts. Sammy, he's doing computer science with artificial intelligence at the University of Nottingham. And Nicole studying fashion at University of Edinburgh. So you can see quite a different variety in terms of subjects. So with the A-level degree, so basically all subjects are open to all pupils. So what are the benefits of joining Mill Hill School? Well, in a way, it's kind of a stepping stone, if you like, to enter a world-renowned UK university, as you just as I just showed you. And well, and then eventually it should be a path to a successful, possibly international career. So, I mean, I see Mill Hill School as this kind of, as this stepping stone, if you like. And, but we would also like to think that especially boarding pupils, they would make lasting relationships of friendship with pupils from Britain and all over the world. We also want pupils to build confidence during their stay at Mill Hill School so that they can feel comfortable in all professional and social situations. Also at Mill Hill School, it's very important, in addition to the academic studies, it's very important for us that pupils try to develop skills in sport or music, art, drama, or other areas. So just some key facts about Mill Hill School. It's very traditional, a British boarding school. It's for boys and girls. And so the youngest boarders and pupils are 13, and then pupils leave when they're 18 or sometimes 19. It was founded over 200 years ago in 1807. And so currently we have a total of 900 pupils, out of which 300 are day pupils and about 200 are boarding. So you can see it's mainly actually a day school. So many of our pupils would live with their parents in and around Mill Hill School. And so in the so about 15%, I would say, are international pupils. So especially the boarding community, it's very international. It's very welcoming, very friendly, very diverse, over 30 different nationalities, so including British, Chinese, German, Iranians, Italians, Kazakh, Nigerians, Russians, Thai, Turkish, Ukrainian, only to name a few, really. And so in terms of the entry points, especially for international pupils, so we have pupils joining at age 13, 14 or 16. So it would be either year 9, year 10, which is then GCSE, or year 12, which is the A Level program. And so in terms of our facilities, so Mill Hill School, we are very lucky. Even though it's located in London, we have 120 acres of land. So it's huge, beautiful grounds for teaching, for the dining hall, for sports, for boarding facilities. We have our own medical center. We have modern science labs, 3D printers, a big library, our own theater. Then we give all non-natives have EAL, so English as an additional language support. And then there's a separate sixth form center. Sports is very, there's a lot of sports at Mill Hill School. So for football, the main sports, for boys, the main sports are football, rugby, hockey, and cricket. And then for girls, it would be netball, tennis, and also hockey. And we also have a golf academy. And we also have a basketball and volleyball team. Unfortunately, I think those sports are often more popular with international pupils. Unfortunately, they're not main sports in the UK, but the boarding houses would have a volleyball net or basketball. We also have an indoor swimming pool, a large sports hall, athletic tracks, and a really nice new gym. Music, again, there's a lot of music. If someone wants to get involved, pupils can have one-to-one lessons, join orchestra, a band, a jazz band, or guitar ensemble, choir. So a lot to get involved in. But I should mention, so in terms of the sports and the music, it's not a requirement for acceptance. It's just it's a good opportunity for pupils to integrate into the school life. In terms of the boarding houses, obviously that's a big part for international pupils in the houses. We have 4 different houses. One is for girls only. The other ones are 3 mixed houses, which is fairly unusual, I think, but it's worked for Mill Hill School. So obviously you would have 1 wing for boys and 1 for girls. So the bedrooms are totally separate. Most of the rooms are twin rooms, or if you have a few triple rooms. So pupils you would share with one or two others, and the bathrooms are always shared as well. And I mean, what makes the houses really special is the house masters, or the girls only house has a house mistress. They're very friendly, welcoming. So they really bring this. They make this atmosphere in the houses really lovely. And they also have large common rooms, gardens for pupils to spend time in the evening and weekends. So just to give you like a kind of timetable for Monday to Friday. So basically in the morning, 7 would be wake up time, then 7:45 is breakfast, 8:20 registration and tutor time. Then from 9 to 12 is periods, so lessons 1 to 4. Then lunch, and sometimes some lunch time activities as well. Then again, lessons until about 3:45. Then there's a bit of free time, so from 3:45, 5:30 until dinner, which is rather early. So 5:30 to 6 is dinner. Then 6:20 is house assembly, so everyone has to be in their boarding houses, so the house masters know where everyone is. And then from 6:30 to 8:30 is what we call prep time. So that's where everyone has to do their homework. And there will be visiting tutors in the house if anyone needs some extra support. Then at 8:20, then there is some free time. So for example, there might be some sports, or pupils can be in the common room. There's some board games, there's table tennis, billiard tables, or in the summer, if it's warm, they have gardens for volleyball and football. And then at 9:30, the bedtime routine starts, so that by 10 everyone is in bed. At the weekends, I should have the same for weekends, but so then Saturday, Sunday, obviously it's more free time. Saturday until lunchtime is a program, not part of the school curriculum, but for boarders to get involved. And then from Saturday lunchtime, it's free. And depending on year groups and age, pupils are allowed to go into central London, but it always has to be agreed with the house masters and approved by parents as well. So our university destinations, so as I already mentioned before, it's kind of, for you would probably see, the school as this stepping stone to a good university. So all our school leavers go on to university. 60% have gone to Russell Group universities in the last 4 or 5 years. And we always have a few as well that get accepted at Oxford or Cambridge University. In terms of other very popular universities for Mill Hill School leavers, so King's College London, UCL, Bristol, Manchester, Nottingham, Imperial, LSE, and a lot more. So in terms of the requirements, so all non-native applicants would have to do an English assessment, but we always do our own assessment. So the IELTS score on the slide is just a guideline. So it's not necessary to do an IELTS exam. So for year 9, it should be B1, year 10, a very strong B1, and then for year 12, a good B2. And in addition, applicants also need to do what it's called a CAT4 test, which is a cognitive ability test, so verbal, non-verbal, spatial activities. For A level, we need to make sure that applicants are suitable for their 3 A-level subjects. So there will be 3 subject interviews with the heads of department. And I should mention, so all the assessments can be done in pupils' home country. So it would have to be the written part would have to be supervised by pupils' current schools, or sometimes we also remotely supervise, and then the interviews are always done via Zoom or Teams. So the fees, so total boarding fees are currently £36,900 per year for tuition, accommodation, and also all meals. And it's paid on a termly basis. So every year has 3 terms. So starting in September, January, and then in April. And so this is just, so in 2018, I attended the Eurasia Workshop Awards in Istanbul, and Mill Hill School won Best High School. So that was a very nice event. And in fact, I've actually just come back from Istanbul, which I always very much enjoy. So, and just a quick final, so we also have a summer course. So in the summer, we run it ourselves. So July and August for 8 weeks. So it can be a minimum 2 weeks up to 8 weeks. We offer a summer program from ages 12 to 17. So, so this is the end of the first part. I also have a video, which it's 6 minutes long, but so it's quite long. So I might just show half of it. Let me just see if I...
The graceful architecture of Mill Hill, combined with its wide green spaces, creates a very special atmosphere. The Crick Room is named after one of our most eminent alumni. Above the fireplace hangs the portrait of celebrated botanist Peter Collinson, along with portraits of key figures dating from the school's foundation in 1807. On the 250th anniversary of Collinson's death, we planted a heritage garden with a selection of the many species he introduced to the UK. The school is set on a 120-acre estate. It still enjoys Collinson's legacy, with many rare and beautiful trees, in what was then his own back garden. Our pupils genuinely enjoy the peace and tranquility they bring to the busy school day. The 6 pillars of the portico represent our guiding principles: pride, integrity, learning, leadership, achievement, and respect. Another reminder of our heritage is the Winterstoke Library. Next door is the Murray Scriptorium, named after Sir James Murray. He was the first editor of the Oxford English Dictionary and a teacher at Mill Hill. Our chapel is the spiritual centre of the school. It is a place of reflection for pupils of all faiths and none. The McClure Music School is the hub of our music teaching and performance. and we provide a huge range of opportunities for pupils to explore music of all types. Alongside music, our drama department has produced many memorable shows, including Cabaret, Oh What a Lovely War, and Bugsy Malone. The creative arts are very much alive at Mill Hill. The art department is always buzzing with originality and enthusiasm, and this can be seen in the displays of work around the school. Our DT department is superbly equipped, including the latest 3D printers. The Favour building, opened in 2007, houses the Humanities and Social Sciences departments. Our inspirational teachers are committed to ensuring that all pupils make the most of their academic potential and set themselves ambitious goals. The science block is named after Old Mill Hillian Francis Crick. Crick co-discovered DNA and attributes his early interest in science to the teaching at Mill Hill School. We encourage pupils to learn by doing and hope to be inspiring the scientific pioneers of the future. The Piper Library is a well-resourced and well-used quiet study area. It is a haven for academic study, where a love of reading is nurtured. The modern and spacious Sixth Form Centre provides the ideal base for our pupils beyond their GCSEs. It is a space for study and relaxation, which reflects their needs as young adults. The Sixth Form Centre also houses the Head of University and Post-School Guidance and the Assistant Head Sixth Form, who support and encourage our pupils as they prepare for successful and rewarding futures. Our Sports Centre sits at the heart of our wide-ranging sports provision, alongside our AstroTurf, tennis courts and many grass pitches. We believe in sport for all and recognise the key part that health and fitness play in a young person's life. Our 25-metre indoor swimming pool is located on our school site. Swimming forms an integral part of our PE programme, but also stands alone as a competitive sport. Eton Fives is played competitively by both boys and girls, and sometimes we beat Eton at their own game. In addition to our 5 boarding houses, we have 8 day houses, which form the basis of our pastoral system. Here, pupils can spend time relaxing in the common rooms or use the quiet study areas in this home from home. Day houses are open from 8 AM to 6 PM, and the housemaster or housemistress is always available to offer pastoral care and assistance. Mill Hill was founded as a boarding school in 1807, and boarding continues to be an integral part of school life. Many pupils opt for full or weekly boarding in one of our 5 boarding houses.
So Zeynep, how do I stop the video? Sorry.
You can just pause it.
Okay, very good. Thank you. All right. So thank you very much. So this was a quick overview of Mill Hill School. So I'm very happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Yes, so thank you for your presentation, Karina, and what a fantastic video. We have a couple of questions in the question section. Do you want me to read them to you?
Where can our kid buy transit tickets, school supplies, personal items? Near the school, the nearest high school is called Mill Hill Broadway and has all the basic shops. So in the afternoons, if you remember the timetable, so there is about an hour between the end of lesson and then dinner. So some pupils would go to the Broadway. It's about 10 minutes by bus. So school supplies, I mean, in a way, there's only the uniform, if that's what it refers to. The uniform shop is also on the Mill Hill School on the Broadway. And from my experience, usually boarders would just go to the shop one day before school starts, and they have all the supply there. And then transit tickets, I'm not sure if that refers to transport in London or international travel, but so transport in London is it's very easy, so just at the stations. I hope that answers the first question. Do you have installment plans for fees? Yes, so termly. So the first payment would be in September. So each term is £12,300. First payment is due in September, then January, and then April. This next question, do the students get mentoring from their teachers in your school? So there's a few, yes. So basically the first point of contact would be the housemaster. So they offer a lot of pastoral care. The housemasters are also the main contact for parents, because they always know how they're doing socially and academically. In addition to the housemasters, every pupil has a tutor. So there's tutor group every morning. So this is mainly for any academic matters. But we also, in addition, we have an overall assistant head pastoral, Mr. Dickon, and so he would, we've got a very sophisticated system of reporting and registering all safeguarding issues. So there's a whole network of pastoral and mentoring support. Okay, so next question, what kind of sports art service opportunities are at the school? So sports, a lot, but so the main sports I mentioned earlier, but I'm happy to go over it again. So for boys, it's rugby, football, hockey, and cricket. The main school sports for girls is hockey, netball, and tennis. But we also offer basketball, golf, volleyball, swimming, but unfortunately we don't have a swimming team yet, so it's not one of the main sports. Arts is it's either as a lesson, so GCSE arts, A Level arts, and there's various arts clubs as well. So next question. Can my son focus on his art skill while studying the school lessons? So with art, so there's, for example, lunchtime drop-in sessions for art. That's one. Then in the free time, but we have a very well equipped arts department. So it can be done in year 10, 11 as GCSE. Then for A-level art, it would be a lot of hours of art per week. So yes, I would say. What school facilities can students use? So, I mean, they can, so there's a dining hall. So, yeah, I didn't have a photo of that, I think. But so there's a beautiful big dining hall. So all the boarders would go together to have breakfast and evening meals. And then at lunch, all pupils have lunch there. So it gets rather busy. Yeah, so then all the sports facilities, all the library, music school. So we have a new recording studio, for example. So there's a lot of, in the boarding houses, all the boarding houses have little kitchens as well. They have gardens. They have like a common room with table tennis, billiard. So yes, a lot of facilities, I would say. So I think I've answered all the questions. Yes. So I don't see any more questions at the moment.
We have a couple of new questions at the top, Karina.
No order by date. Okay, but the top one that I see is what school facilities can students use? Or is there anything at the top?
Yeah, oh, you answered that too.
Yes, yes. Mm. And so, I mean, I just, okay, so if my daughter turns after second year of high school, so I, because the education system is slightly different in Turkey, so I'm not sure what age that would be. So 15, maybe 16. Zeynep, would you know? The top question, second year of high school.
14, 15.
Yeah. So, I mean, in a way, any age group is possible to join, because for 15, so 14 would be the 2-year GCSE. We also have, for age 15, the opportunity for 1-year GCSE, which is kind of designed for international pupils. So we, in terms of what is required, so we would, it's a combination of the pupils' current grades in Turkey. But because it's, you know, it's not always that easy for us to compare, we do the English assessment, then the CAT 4 interview. So it kind of then gives us hopefully a complete picture.
Yes, thank you for your answers, Karina. Also, could you please mention your classroom, like what is the condition because of the corona,
yes.
you know?
The size, yeah. So in terms of the, so from year 9 to year 11, the class size is about 20. And then for year 12 and 13, so for A levels, it's 14 per class. So now, I mean, luckily since, what is it now? Since March, we had continuous classroom teaching. So the lockdown finished then. But I shouldn't say that I was very impressed during the lockdown how quickly the teachers managed to change from the classroom to online teaching. But luckily, we haven't had any lockdown again since March.
Also, do the students need to get vaccinated, or they use masks during the class?
Yes, so masks are not obligatory anymore. Vaccination is also not compulsory. It's offered. It's offered to anyone from the age of 12, if I'm not mistaken. But a lot of testing. So we test, especially boarders, at least twice a week. And boarding staff as well.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
All right. So also, could you please share your email address in the chat box? So if they have any other questions, they can contact you later.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay. Any more questions? Or, I mean, feel free to contact me about any, programs, summer school, and anything that I might not have covered. And do come and visit if anyone is interested. We offer tours most weeks.
Yes, thank you very much for the great presentation, Corina. You covered all of the questions. Thank you for your answers too. We believe it was a really informative webinar for the attendees.
Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed it as well. So, and thanks for listening, and enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you. Also, I would like to thank the participants in Turkish as well.
Okay.
Katıldığınız için teşekkür ederiz arkadaşlar. Mill School ile ilgili diğer sorularınız için chat kısmında paylaşılmış olan mail adresinden Corina'ya ulaşabilirsiniz. Umarım sizin için de faydalı bir webinar olmuştur. Aynı zamanda sizi haftaki webinarımıza da davet etmek isteriz. Thank you very much again, Corina. It was a pleasure to have you in IEFT Talks.
All right. Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.